Thousands are raising their voices against the horrific war in Israel, with rallies all across the country.
And the Secretary of State makes a surprise visit to the Mideast amidst high tensions.
Election day is tomorrow, and I'll have all the information you need later on in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Grace Escobar.
And I'm Sydney Jolivet. Tens of thousands of people flooded downtown D.C. on Saturday to march in support of Palestine. CNN's Randy Ayala has the information.
Palestinian flags and handmade posters filling the streets of D.C. as supporters rally for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Standing with Palestine is just being on the right side of history.
Their children are dying, and they don't feel like their lives are equal or even matter to anybody else watching them die off like little ants.
Freedom Plaza and the streets surrounding it were extremely packed. I mean, it was hard for us to even walk through. But despite the huge amount of people out here, you're getting a look at that crowd right now. Everything we saw remained peaceful.
Palestine will be free!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
People here calling on President Biden to end aid to Israel immediately, 2 days after the House approved over $14 billion in assistance.
It's absolutely atrocious.
As American taxpayers, we need to be on the right side of justice, and we need to protect these innocent children.
Khaled Al-Qadumi with the Palestinian National Council says the U.S. should remain neutral in the conflict that dates back decades.
The U.S. as the most powerful country in the world, for them to go and send warships to the Middle East, that ignites more violence.
Why is it we don't have that right to protect our land? Why is it that people who stole our land, they have the right to protect the land that's not even theirs?
The Palestinian death toll in Gaza, according to the Associated Press, has reached more than 9,000. In Northwest, Randy Ayala.
Palestine will be free!
WUSA 9.
Continuing with coverage of Gaza, we have an update on the death toll. Israeli attacks have killed close to 10,000 people in Gaza since October 7th. This data comes from the Palestinian Minister of Health in Ramallah, Dr. Mai Al-Khaila, as well as medical sources inside the Hamas-controlled enclave. Dr. Al-Khaila says that children account for 4,800 of the fatalities. In light of these new numbers, Dr. Al-Khaila said that guaranteeing secure routes for delivering essential supplies to hospitals is critical more now than ever before.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken made an unannounced visit to Iraq on Sunday. During the visit, Blinken met with the Iraqi Prime Minister for more than an hour. Blinken later told reporters that the discussion with the Prime Minister was good and productive. He also stated that they discussed making sure the conflict in Gaza did not spread to a wider region. Blinken also visited the U.S. Embassy, where he received a security briefing on the threat to U.S. facilities. Blinken told reporters that there is no doubt that everyone would welcome a humanitarian pause in Gaza, even if there are different opinions when it comes to a ceasefire.
I think everyone would welcome humanitarian pauses. There's no doubt about that. There are obviously different views, including on the question of the ceasefire, but there's no doubt from my conversations with all of our colleagues who were in Amman yesterday that everyone would welcome a humanitarian pause because, again, it can advance things that we're all trying to accomplish.
The trip to Iraq was just Blinken's latest stop through the region. He had previously made stops in Israel, Jordan, the West Bank, and Cyprus, and will now travel to Turkey.
Former President Donald Trump arrived in New York this morning to testify in court. Trump faces the possibility of a $250 million fine after he allegedly lied about his net worth. These valuations boosted his net worth to between $2 and $3.6 billion per year. This is Trump's second time in court after he was accused and fined $10,000 for violating a partial gag order. Trump has spoken out about, quote, Judge Engoron is a radical left Democrat operative who has already ruled against him. Michael Cohen, Trump's fixer attorney, will not be attending court because of security challenges. This trial is scheduled to last until mid-December. Grace, one thing about Texas is we can experience every season in a matter of 1 week.
Yes, the weather here is absolutely crazy. I had a huge jacket on last week, and today I didn't even need long sleeves.
Exactly. Well, I'm not assuming anything about the weather anymore. I'm just going to straight ask ntTV's Sydney Johnson what we can expect this week. Sydney?
Well, Sydney, today we just might have gotten lucky. I don't know if you guys have been outside this morning already, but if not, you need to. It feels absolutely amazing. Our current temperature right now is 72 degrees. It feels around 73. It's very warm, sunny, and breezy with wind speeds of about 7 miles per hour. Later on tonight, we're looking at a temperature of about 63 degrees. It should feel around 62. The skies are going to be nice and clear, and we have wind speeds of about 12 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 84 degrees. It should feel around 82. Again, very warm, sunny, and nice, and we'll have wind speeds about 15 miles per hour. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go outside and catch some fresh air before this nice weather leaves us. That's all we have for First Look, and I'll be right back with full weather in just a second.
Thanks, Sydney. Coming up, what you need to know about Election Day in Denton tomorrow.
And all you chicken nugget lovers may want to check your freezer for certain Tyson products.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Six people were injured following a shooting at a local motorcycle rally in Galveston, Texas, Saturday night. Police say the alleged gunman, 20-year-old Pettis Ray, was detained at the scene and had a gun in his possession. From the 6 people shot, police say one of the victims did not seek medical treatment and the other 5 were taken to local hospitals. One victim is in critical condition, but the others are all expected to make a full recovery. Police say they do not believe the shooting was related to the Lone Star rally. Ray claimed to be a gang member, and police believe this incident could have been in retaliation to other rival gangs. Ray is charged with 6 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and his bond is set at $600,000.
School choice and border security legislation leaves Texas leaders in discord as the third special session comes to an end. CNN's Michael Atkinson has more.
Has this level of dysfunction between a Republican-controlled Texas government ever been so pronounced as you see it?
No, I mean, I think we've reached a new height.
Republicans control the Texas House, the Texas Senate, and the office of the Texas governor. But you might not know it by the amount of legislation lawmakers can agree on. In a 30-day special session expected to focus on school choice and border security, so far, the legislature has advanced just 2 bills: a ban on COVID-19 vaccine mandates for private employers and an increase in criminal penalties for human smuggling. School choice was always going to face an uphill battle, and despite Governor Greg Abbott's last-ditch push earlier this week after an agreement on legislation,
we are on track to ensure there will not be another special session.
Just hours later, the House adjourned until next week, essentially leaving no time to take up school choice legislation. Today, House Education Committee Chair Brad Buckley publicly released a nearly 180-page education omnibus bill, not to be considered this special session, but specifically to give each lawmaker a jump start on examining this bill ahead of the next special session.
So an optimist might say, negotiations move forward, but we simply ran out of time. A pessimist would say, if anything, the animosity among the negotiators has grown more acute, not less.
In some of his strongest words against House Speaker Dade Phelan, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who presides over the Senate, wrote that the Speaker has become nothing more than hot air, criticizing not just school choice, but the House's bill that criminalizes illegal border crossings. Speaker Phelan fired back, calling Patrick's comments a desperate bid to salvage what's left of his credibility on border security, and says the Senate had watered down that legislation. With that, the Senate comes back to work on Sunday, and the House comes back after that next week. But odds are good, even if one chamber passes any legislation, the other may not be inclined to do the same.
This election season, there are a few bonds and propositions on the ballot that can make a big impact on the Denton community if passed.
That's right. Tomorrow, the residents of the Denton community have the opportunity to make a big change by going to the polls. Our lifestyle reporter Paisley McGee has more on the story. Paisley?
Thank you, guys. This year, early voting has taken a slight drop in voter turnout across the states, and more specifically in the city of Denton. Last November, over 11,000 residents casted their votes in the first 4 days. However, this November, those numbers have dropped by nearly 2,500 voters. So far, a total of 8,434 votes have been cast in the city of Denton through early voting, but they're hoping for many more tomorrow. Election Day is tomorrow, November 7th, and one of the best ways to make your voice known is by showing up to the polls. All polling locations will be open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. For more information and to find where to vote, search votedenton.gov. I'm Paisley McGee signing out. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Paisley. Sydney, do you have any exciting plans coming up?
Absolutely, Grace. I am getting ready to take my graduation pictures, but I need to know what the weather is going to be like so I'm not absolutely disappointed if I take them outside.
Well, you are in luck because we are going to Sydney Johnson right now for our full weather report. Sydney, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, despite the cooler temperatures we experienced last week, right now it feels absolutely incredible outside pretty much across the map. Majority of our North Texas temperatures are ranging between the mid-60s to the low 70s. This is the fall Texas weather that we all love and pray for each year. Really quickly, let's take a look at our weather across the state as well as our surrounding areas. We're pretty much staying in that same range, all of us in the nice weather range between the 60s and 70s. And as we can see, Houston and Shreveport are coming in as our warmest areas at 77 and 75 degrees. Now let's take a look at our weekly forecast. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be absolutely delicious, just as it feels today. We have warm, sunny, and nice weather with temperatures between 60s and 80s. On Thursday, we have a 96% chance of a thunderstorm. Those temperatures are going to drop, and this actually signifies the start of cooler weather for the rest of the year. For real this time, this is not a drill. Our cooler weather is put right on the forefront. As we can see on Friday, our high is 57 and our low is 41. And then this weekend, the sun is going to come out again and grace us with its warmth. Although it will be cooler, it will be nice outside. If you guys plan on going out this weekend, it might be worth it to add a light jacket to your weekend fit. That's all I have for weather today. Thank you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. Are you an avid chicken nugget enjoyer? Well, you might just have to throw out your home stash. Tyson Food is recalling around 30,000 pounds of chicken nuggets. The recall is voluntary after a few reported finding small pieces of metal inside the patties. The recall is for 29-ounce plastic packages containing frozen, fully cooked, breaded nuggets shaped like chicken patties. The packaging includes a best-of-use date of September 4th, 2024. The chicken was sold in different states, including California, Illinois, Michigan, Tennessee, and Virginia. The USDA states there has been one minor oral injury in result of consuming the recalled nuggets.
Has announced it's raising the 401k contribution limit to $23,000, which is $500 more than the current limit. Anyone who is 50 or older can put away an additional $7,500 in catch-up contributions for a total of $3,500. Those limits also apply to 403B plans, most 457 plans, and the federal government's thrift saving plan.
Ever wonder where all those signs around campus come from? I'll tell you all about them when we come back.
And the Bills football player who almost lost his life back in January is now giving back to his community while honoring the medical staff who saved him.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break?
No.
Are you behind on your credit hours? Got more time on your hands this winter? Then you need to sign up for winter sessions. Do not delay, sign up today. Visit registration.unt.edu/winter session for more information or see your advisor.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Vegan food?
No, I haven't.
Me neither. Well, our segment anchor, I'm so sorry. Our segment anchor, Macy Terry, may have found a cool new spot for us to try. Macy?
Thanks guys. So some of my favorite food is comfort food. I found a spot that serves their take on comfort food, but the plant-based version. It's located on the square and you have to check it out. Spiral Diner is a plant-based restaurant opened on the Denton Square.
So Spiral started in 2002, so it's pretty old as far as kind of restaurants go, but it was founded by Amy McNutt, who had recently graduated college, and she opened it in the Fort Worth Stockyards. Our mission, I think this is really cool. It's to make vegan food accessible. You know, I think a lot of the times people think that vegan food is just you know, beans and rice or like salads, but we really want to make sure that people feel like they're not missing out on anything. So if you look at our menu, there's a lot of nachos, burgers, lots of desserts.
The restaurant has an old school diner feel, serving their take on vegan comfort food, with an array of many options for you to choose from.
Vegan comfort food is food that you want when you're having a bad day. It's food that you want to eat when you're like celebrating something. So the Nacho Supremo, it's like our most popular menu item. We make a cashew cheese in-house, it's super good. So we have a beans and quinoa kind of topping that goes on that, sour cream olives, jalapenos, kind of the works. That is the most popular item and it has been for a very long time.
The food was so incredible. I had some of the best chocolate cake I've ever had. I couldn't even tell it was vegan, but that's all I have for you guys. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Macy. That looks and sounds delicious. Now, you may or may not have ever heard of DesignWorks, but you've definitely seen their work around campus. Located on the second floor of the Union, they are a student-run organization of designers who create projects for other students and organizations on campus. I got the chance to take a closer look at what they're all about. Located on the second floor of the Union is DesignWorks, a student staff of designers.
DesignWorks is a print shop on campus that handles all the print, media, and design for the Union. So we do a lot of design for ourselves. We do a lot of collaborations. One of our clients is UPC, the Union's Program Council on campus. They're right next door to us. They do a lot of free events on campus. So basically what we do is we'll do some designs for them. Sometimes students can come in themselves and get the things printed. Sometimes other organizations come in and we can do designs for them, and then they can also get their stuff printed here too. So it's a whole bunch of like really cool things.
The DesignWorks services are open to students as well as organizations on campus.
I've noticed that like a lot of students, especially like during the art market time, they'll come in and they'll just get something printed from for their art market. Like let's say like they're selling a whole bunch of prints, they'll just make their prints themselves and then use the printing service through us because it's easier since it's on campus and it's only like a 3-day wait period. Like once we start your order, they're able to like get it in and out without any issues.
There are numerous positions within DesignWorks with opportunities to move up within the program.
You are able to like move up in positions here, like whenever they're available. All of them are really great. We all work as a whole cohesive team. We're always helping each other out. But since I work exclusively with designers, I'm working exclusively with my design team, with UPC and our design team, with the design team as a whole.
Reporting for North Texas Television, I'm Grace Escobar.
Thanks. The Buffalo Bills safety DeMar Hamlin is honoring the medical staff who saved his life earlier this year by giving back in a big way. This past January, Hamlin went into cardiac arrest after making a tackle in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. On Saturday night, he announced on social media that he had dinner with the 10 medical professionals who saved his life, calling them his heroes. But it didn't stop there. Hamlin also announced that he is launching a scholarship program called Cincinnati Heroes Scholarship. The program will award 10 $1,000 scholarships to underserved students in the Cincinnati area, and each scholarship will be named after one of the medical staff. When announcing the program, Hamlin wrote that he would not be here if it were not for them. 10 months after Hamlin's cardiac arrest, the Bills faced off against the Bengals Sunday night on the very same field. You know, Grace, I grew up watching football, but basketball kind of just seems to interest me more now.
Sydney, I'm going to have to stick with football, but luckily our sports anchor Omar Martinez has the latest on both. Omar?
Yes, I'll have more on North Texas football and basketball right after the break.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much.
I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
Well, not the weekend us North Texas wanted when it came to football, but who cares because the Rangers are the current world champs. Both the North Texas Mean Green and the Dallas Cowboys lost, and it stings a lot for both fan bases. The Mean Green now have an atrocious 3-6 record, putting any bowl chances in the gutter. They lose 37-29 to in-state rival UTSA. The Dallas Cowboys also had a match with their most hated rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, and although it was a nail-biter at the end, the Cowboys ultimately ended up in the L column as Dak Prescott's comeback heroics. The Dallas offense just wasn't enough in the fourth. The Cowboys defense did hold the Eagles to 0 points in the fourth quarter, but the Eagles defense had 2 enormous stops late in the game to stop the Cowboys. The Eagles win 28-23, lifting them to 8-1, while the Cowboys stumbled to 5-3. While the Cowboys might be questioning if Dak is the future at the quarterback position, there's one team that is definitely not having those thoughts. The Texans QB C.J. Stroud set a record for passing yards by a rookie as he finished with 470 yards, passing Andrew Luck, who had 433. Not only did he throw for almost 500 yards, but he had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and most importantly, the come-from-behind win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After a Baker Mayfield touchdown to Kate Auden in the final minute of the game, the Texans had a win probability of 88.6%, but with 2 timeouts and 46 seconds left, the number 2 overall pick, C.J. Stroud, marched the Texans down the field to find fellow rookie Tank Dell for the game-winning touchdown. The Texans win 39-37 and are now an even 4-4 as they prepare for a tough test against the Cincinnati Bengals on the road next week. Now switching gears to basketball, the Mean Green's journey to the tourney starts this week as they kick the regular season off tomorrow at home against Northern Iowa. The Mean Green, who are the reigning NIT champions and are led by first-year head coach Ross Hodge. It is a new era of Mean Green men's basketball with new faces, and North Texas will enter its season opener having won 8 straight home games dating back to last year. The UNT women's basketball team is set to begin their new era tonight as they open the season at home against UNT Dallas. Mean Green will open their first season as a member of the American Athletic Conference. They also have a new coach of their own. Jason Burden, who is the winningest coach in program history at Texas A&M Commerce, hopes to continue that legacy here in Denton. And that's all I have for sports. Go Mean Green.
Thanks, Omar. Today isn't just a regular Monday. Today is National Nacho Day. This popular snack can be just tortilla chips and cheese or include numerous toppings such as beans, salsa, or sour cream. The history of nachos dates back to a man named Ignacio Nacho Aña, who first came up with the idea of nachos in 1943. Aña was a macho day at a restaurant on the U.S.-Mexico border near Eagle Pass, Texas. One night after the kitchen staff left, a group of U.S. Army wives came looking for something to eat. Aña cut tortillas into triangles and topped them with cheese and jalapenos and heated the snack in the oven. The Army wives loved the new creation so much they named the snack Nacho Special, and the tortilla and cheese combo became a hit all over Texas and spread in popularity across the country. To celebrate the nacho holiday here at UNT, Bruceteria will be having a nacho bar until 2.
That sounds so good. I can't wait to go home so I can have my mom's homemade nachos.
Oh, that sounds so good, Sydney.
I'm just ready to go home in general.
Real.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow here at noon at North Texas Television.